Hey folks, my name is Brian Zach. Welcome back to another Quarantine Sessions. Today's video features a song called Thank You that was written by a friend of mine named Justin Mather. And Justin is an old friend of mine from Las Vegas, from my Las Vegas days when I used to live there. He and I used to play together, and we started recording together. And ever since I moved here to Nashville, he's since started sending me songs to play on remotely here from my home studio, and then I send them over the web back to him with the drums, and everybody gets happy. So this is one of his babies. Like I said, the song is called Thank You, and it's kind of a slow burner, kind of a slow groover. Goom, goom, gap, goom, goom, gap, right? And really nice song. So let's talk a little bit about how I prepped for the song, what gear I used for the song, and a little bit about the playing part of the song, okay? And in terms of the drums and how I went about my approach to playing the song. So, okay, first things first, prep. Upon listening to the song, I'm listening for lyrical content. First of all, I want to know what the song is about. What is the song emoting? What is the message in the song? Second thing is, I'm going to write a chart, because typically that's what I do with songs that I need to record in a hurry. And oftentimes, like sometimes I'm recording more than one song in a day or an afternoon. So there's not a whole lot of time to play through a song over and over and over again and learn it by heart. Usually that's what ends up happening anyway, just because when I write the chart, it sort of sinks in and it becomes a little more internal. And also there's a degree of just visually I can see the chart in my brain and the way it's laid out on the paper. And so as I'm playing the song, I can actually see the chart. I can look at it as well, but I can see it in my head. So I'll remember if there's maybe an odd bar phrase or a 2/4 bar. And actually in this song, there are some odd bar phrases. So, that does come into play more often than you might think. And it's helpful. It's helpful for me to write a chart. And my charts generally are using the Nashville number system. I find it to be super, super helpful. Just in terms of learning the skeletal outline of the song. In other words, how many bars are in the intro, how many bars are in the verse, the chorus, the bridge, and so on and so forth. And what I love so much about the Nashville number system is that it's outlining the chords of the music. So I'm not just counting bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, right? To me, that's not making music, counting to 8 and then starting over again. Nothing bores me more than that. If I wanted to do that, I'd play in a orchestra and count 89 bars of rest to play a ding on a triangle on the end of 2. No thanks. I don't want to do that. Anyway, so yeah, the Nashville number system is really helpful when it comes to just outlining a typical pop, country, R&B song. As long as the song isn't too crazy in terms of syncopations or riffs or lines or any kind of thing like that. Most radio-friendly music is very easily notated in the Nashville number system. Anyway, enough with all of that. Okay, so those are two things that I do to prep. In addition to those two things for prep work, while I'm making the chart, while I'm listening to the song, I'm deciding what snare drum sound I think would be most appropriate for the song and how it will fit in to the mix of the music. Should it be a short, tight sound, high pitch, or should it be a low, longer sound with a low pitch? In this case, I chose a deeper snare sound, a lower pitch with a longer note. Okay, so I'm looking for that goom goom ga, goom goom ga. Okay, as opposed to goom goom get, goom goom get. Right? So those are two very different things. That's the same beat I'm singing there and playing, right? Same exact beat, but two very different feels and two very different sounds. And so, you know, as a recording drummer, I mean, a lot of, you know, part of the battle, I should say, is just choosing the right instruments for the application, okay? You know, and since we're talking about that already, let's go to the gear. I chose to use a Ludwig hammered bronze snare drum, 6.5-inch deep by 14. And I love that drum. I've had that drum since I lived in New York. I bought it new. Originally, I bought it as a jazz drum because I was so much into Bill Stewart and I wanted to sound like Bill Stewart as much as I could. And that was the drum that Bill Stewart played like on all the records that he recorded, I believe, from like the 90s and into the 2000s. And these days, I don't use that drum so much for jazz, hardly at all. I have that drum set up with a lower pitch. It's muted a lot of times. It's got a different head on it. I use an Aquarian single ply with a dot underneath. I love that snare head for a lot of different drums. And that drum mostly stays in the studio here. I don't take that drum out too often, except for maybe sessions that are outside of the home here. So it's a great drum. You know, it's got kind of a darker, richer, complex tone compared to your typical brass snare drums, compared to your typical Black Beauty or whatever your favorite brass type shell is. Cymbal wise, I went with bigger crashes. Again, I'm looking for lower pitch, nothing too piercing or like striking to the ear, nothing that's going to stand out in the mix too much. So I went with a 19-inch crash on my left and a 20-inch crash on my right. And I don't believe I even touched the ride cymbal, so that doesn't even come into play. Hats were my 14-inch mediums, Istanbul Agop, of course. Bass drum, recording custom, 2 heads on it, felt beater. Nothing crazy about the mics, although I should say I went with more of a roomier sound on the drum mix. Now, whether or not that gets, you know, to the end mix, to the final mix of this song, I don't know, we'll have to see. What you're about to hear is my mix. Just I mixed the drums in with the backing track that came to me, with Justin's permission, of course. So, you know, it remains to be seen how the drums will sound eventually on the final mix. But I ended up using more of a roomier mix, and the reason for that was I was hearing kind of a Tom Petty, Wildflowers record sound. Steve Ferroni played drums on the Wildflowers record, and I just love the fat drum tones that are on that record, and some of the grooves are very much like similar to this style. Boom boom bap, boom boom bap, right? It's got that roomy, vibey, you know, sound. So it's not like a tight. It's not like a tight miking. It's more of a, like I said, a roomy. You can hear the room. There's there's a bit of ambience to the drum sound, okay? So that's that. Real quickly, I'm living on the back side of the click. I want it to have that nice relaxed kind of feel. I want it to feel like we're just like sitting back, like in your favorite, recliner kind of thing, and just make it feel good. Fills, simple, kind of Ringo-esque fills. Boom, 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 gak, boom, bap, bap, boom, boom. Those kind of fills, okay? No flammadiddles, no flaggada-flaggadas, no double bass, no radamucues, okay? In this tune, simply not appropriate, okay? But there are a few little subtle things that maybe, when I hit the tom, I might drag the snare drum a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. Very, very subtle little things like that the mics pick up, and that if you're listening, hopefully that comes through. So here we go. This song is called Thank You. It's by Justin Mather, and yours truly on the drums, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I want to say thank you for tuning in, for subscribing, for liking the video, for making your comments down below. I appreciate it. It makes the channel, it helps my channel. I'm trying to grow it. This is great. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I should add that the chart that I wrote is down below in the link in the description, so check that out, and I look forward to hearing from you. All right, guys, thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for giving this life to me, making me work for free, sharing your philosophy. Thank you for teaching me how to drive through this crazy life, to be sane most of the time. There's times in life when things aren't looking so good, and you just keep wondering what'll happen. But we surrounded ourselves by a tapestry of love, and I wonder if I could ever thank you enough. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for putting me on a plane and letting me fly away. My life forever changed. Thank you for listening to me when I'm on repeat and feeling really free. There's times in life when things aren't looking so good, and you just keep wondering what'll happen. But we surrounded ourselves by a tapestry of love, and I wonder if I could ever thank you enough. So thank you, thank you. you.